Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man.
Welcome to the Daily Tea, everybody. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up button and the bell notification so you will be notified when I upload another Daily Tea video. So today we're going to be talking about R. Kelly, and we're going to be evaluating his body language. The person who's going to be speaking is Derek. Watch very closely to R. Kelly's body language. This is the R. Kelly and Gayle King interview that took place early in 2019. So let's get started.
The 6-part series interviewed 50 people, family members, your former tour manager, numerous women who all claim that you abused them. Yeah. Were you saying everybody in that documentary was not telling the truth about you? Everybody?
Gayle King asks a very specific question. It's a yes or a no. Listen to what he says and how he says it.
If you really look at that documentary, which I'm sure you have.
I have.
R. Kelly starts out with an out-of-character stutter, which indicates nervousness and apprehension, very typical of lying. And then notice what he says.
Everybody said something bad about me. Nobody said nothing good. They was describing Lucifer. I'm not Lucifer.
He doesn't directly answer the question, but he gives this indirect roundabout answer. Throughout this interview, we'll notice him diverting and avoiding directly answering questions.
I'm a man. I make mistakes, but I'm not a devil, and by no means am I a monster.
I'm going to name the names. Andrea Kelly, your ex-wife.
Here I am, his principal dancer, choreographer, on stage, right next to him. And people have no idea that this man just beat me on the bus. People have no idea of the bruises I'm hiding.
Kitty Jones.
I don't even know if I want an apology. I wouldn't even feel it was real. I just think he's numb to people's feelings.
Lisa Van Allen.
The threesomes became more frequent once it happened with the girl that was 14. In the beginning, when I was 17, he told me she was 16.
Lisette Martinez.
I'd just like you to know that you really hurt me. I was a little girl in like a bad man's world. Why you would want to hurt so many women?
Jerronda Pace. Faith Rogers.
Did you want to have sex with him?
No. He has this type of like intimidation right off the bat, you know? So I was just waiting for it to be over.
Suing R. Kelly for sexual battery and willfully, deliberately, and maliciously infecting her with herpes. And she claims Kelly mentally, sexually, and verbally abused her.
Asante McGee.
I told her to pretend like she was Uber because security is at the end of the driveway. And that's where a lot of people think we could just freely walk out. We cannot. There's a car parked with 2 armed securities at the end of this driveway. You cannot go in or out.
You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
Why would these women say the same thing about you? That you are controlling, that you are abusive, that you tell women when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when they can sleep, where they can dress.
One of them said, oh, I thought it was going to be this lavish lifestyle with this R&B star. No, they have to knock to get out of their room. They have to wear baggy clothes so nobody can see their curves. They have to look down at the floor.
What would set him off? It could be anything from the milk being too cold to not cold enough for breakfast. It could be what I was wearing. It's too revealing, you know, not to wear it. It could be if someone came to our house and I spoke, he would really like, why are you talking to him? You should be looking at your feet.
And they have been trained like pets. If these women he's got now are brainwashed, Stockholm Syndrome, they're never going to reveal what's happening.
And we're in a relationship with him.
Right.
You just said it.
A very strong relationship as well.
Both of you.
Yes, most definitely.
He's got a whole group around him called runners that do all his bidding. They're the ones that enforce his laws, his rules on these young ladies. And remember, some of them are at age now, and they're still in there. The law can't touch it.
Why would all these women tell these different stories about you if they were not true? And they don't know each other. That defies logic to me.
Right, right. Until you hear the explanation. You can start a rumor on a guy like me or a celebrity just like that. All you have to do is push a button on your phone and say, so-and-so did this to me. R. Kelly did this to me. And if you get any traction from that, if you're able to write a book from that, if you're able to get a reality show, then any girl that I had a relationship in the past that it just didn't work out, she can come and say the same exact thing.
Some of the things she had described in detail, I had been through, I mean, verbatim.
I see. Wow.
And it was just something about that pierced my spirit, that I was like, if no one else is going to speak up for her, if no one else is going to believe her, at least she knows that I do.
Have you ever had sex
No.
with anyone under the age of 17?
No.
Did you catch his lying body language? See if you can pick it out for yourself. Watch again.
Have you ever had sex
No.
with anyone under the age of 17?
No.
He first starts out with a head shake and then starts swirling his head in a head nod, confirming that he actually did. That roundabout head nod is incongruent with his no.
Under the age of 17?
No.
Also, did you notice his right toe starts to point up? This is what's called defying gravity. We do these defying gravity gestures when something excites us, which includes the adrenaline of lying. He then continues his incongruent head nod with his no answer. Watch.
Never.
No.
In 1994, 27-year-old R. Kelly allegedly marries 15-year-old singer Aaliyah in a secret ceremony. The marriage is reportedly annulled less than a year later. In 2008, R. Kelly stands trial for 14 counts of child pornography related to sexually explicit photos and a video of an allegedly underage girl. In sum, he's accused of performing disturbing acts.
I have to tell you, it's so hard to believe that based on all that we've read
I'm gonna tell
and
you
what the
something,
women
Gayle.
have
There's
said
one
about you.
I'm
What
gonna tell
the
you
women have
something.
said about you.
What women said about me. What women. So nobody's allowed to be mad at me and be scorned and lie on me.
Mm-hmm. So they're lying on you. That's your explanation. They're lying on you.
Absolutely.
R. Kelly says absolutely and gives a head shake implying no. His body language with that head shake is incongruent with his words, implying he doesn't actually believe they're lying. Now, R. Kelly looks down and points his finger up like he's about to say something to make a point. But watch what he does next.
Absolutely.
Instead of making the point, he transitions it to cover his face. But when he reveals his face, we find out why he decided to not make the point and cover his face instead. Watch.
Absolutely.
He was about to laugh when he was going to make that likely bogus point, so he covered his face to distract himself and also cover his smile. Take a look at that whole part uninterrupted.
So they're lying on you. That's your explanation. They're lying on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
That's a question that can be answered with a simple yes or no. But listen to his answer.
I don't need to. Why would I?
He actually doesn't deny it. Saying you don't need to do something doesn't mean you didn't do it.
Well,
How stupid would it be for R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way, way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said.
Now he transitions to sensationalism to make the charges seem outrageous. This is a spin that the liar may do to reframe the allegations to make them seem bogus.
Why, how stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you
That's
were holding...
stupid, guys.
I didn't...
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid.
And just because something is stupid to do doesn't mean you didn't do it. He was so caught up in all that diverting, he forgot to deny the allegations against him. An innocent person would make sure that it was very clear the allegations are false.
Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, Oh, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle.
R. Kelly continues sensationalizing the allegations in hopes of making it all seem ridiculous. Of course, if you sensationalize or exaggerate anything, you could make anything seem bogus.
Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. I didn't do this stuff.
And all of a sudden, his demeanor changes.
This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
And I used to know it was something in me that's like, here we go.
Y'all killing me with...
He just switched. I'm sitting with the monster now.
This I gave out 30 years of my career.
His eyes would change.
Robert.
30 years of my career.
And his body, his posture would change.
Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music.
He now does this whole yelling fit because clearly this is how he handles stressful situations. The fact that he could not contain himself during a nationally televised interview says a lot about his temperament at home. If this is how he acts in front of tens of millions of people, just imagine how he acts in front of people he feels most comfortable around.
I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth.
Did you notice all his physical gyrating? This all shows how physical he is in his normal life. Someone who gets angry physically by hitting their chest, punching into their hands, punching walls, or breaking things are much more likely to physically assault others than someone who doesn't show anger with their physical strength.
You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down.
The realization that these allegations could send him to prison for the rest of his life is setting in. He's scared, and this is when he really begins to play the victim card.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're going to let the camera keep rolling.
This is not, doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
Liars sometimes play the victim card to turn the conversation so they aren't on the defensive and having to do all the risky maneuvering to defend their lie.
Kelly's emotions remained raw.
It's real girls out there missing.
Arms wide to demonstrate that there's a big problem that needs attention. Of course, this is all to divert attention away from what he's being accused of.
It's real young girls out there being abducted, being raped, okay? They really are on chains. They really do have chains on their wrists and they can't get out.
Now seems to actually be making the point that what he has done and is doing to women isn't as bad as what some others are doing because his girls aren't in chains.
Robert, and they're ending up buried in deep.
Robert, we have to have a conversation. Really, I don't want you just ranting at the camera.
I came here for them to hear me talk. But I need help.
Oh, maybe R. Kelly will admit to something?
What kind of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Yes, what kind of help?
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart.
Yep, it's the classic, I'm the complete opposite of the accusations defense.
Because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
R. Kelly seems to be thinking of and referring to women while punching into his hand, clearly implying that's what he wants to do to them. All these women are coming after poor R. Kelly because he's so nice. They're just taking advantage of him. When there's that many legitimate accusers, there's usually at least a shred of truth. But the fact that he's not admitting to anything makes him come across as even more guilty.
You sound like you're playing the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly, you do. When I listen to you, it does sound like you're playing the victim
I'm just telling the truth.
What is your financial situation, if you don't mind saying?
Here's the deal. So many people have been stealing my money.
He can't even say that with a straight face. He's lying. How much smiling would you do if you felt many people were stealing your money and you're now broke? That would not be anything to smile about.
Did you ever see him having any type or talking about financial issues?
No.
Because they're saying he only has $350,000 in the bank.
He would carry a Louis book sack full of money.
People was connected to my account. I went by myself for the first time to Bank of America Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know what the hell was going on.
There's so much duping smile this whole time when he's talking about money.
When did you do that? First time by yourself?
About 3 weeks ago to a month.
3 weeks ago was the first time you went to Bank of America by yourself?
By myself. How can I pay child support? How? If my ex-wife is destroying my name and I can't work, how can I work? How can I get paid? How can I take care of my kids? How?
More playing the victim to divert away from the accusations.
And then he would fake cry. And of course, I believed him.
Your ex-wife
Use your common sense.
Your ex-wife says you abused her, Robert.
13 lies.
You just heard Gayle King try to move R. Kelly back to the accusations, but he quickly goes back to yelling about how he's the real victim. Also, all this yelling on national TV are red flags and indicate the anger problems he has.
When I was pregnant with my first child, he locked me in a bathroom and I slept in a bathtub.
13 years!
Can you imagine what he's like in the privacy of his own home with people he feels comfortable with?
I flew in on a helicopter. Look, man, look. I'm telling y'all, I flew in on a helicopter with a damn puppy.
Why was he yelling about a helicopter? It seemed to be to divert the conversation and to reshape his image as a romantic softie who would never abuse.
Not once have I ever had a domestic violence call at the house and all this, that, and the other. It never happened.
Why is she making that up, Robert?
I'm not disrespecting her by saying she's not telling the truth. I'm just being honest.
Wow, I got R. Kelly all wrong. He's actually a good guy. He won't even call his ex-wife a liar when he feels she lied about criminal charges against him. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic. This is all done to make himself come across as the good guy, while also avoiding the he said, they said argument, which he'll lose every time.
Somebody sent me something on my phone and it said that I hog-tied her.
And he got really angry with me and he started arguing with me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm fine. I'm not going to do this with you. I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to fight with you. And he was like, you what? And I just remember instantly when he grabbed me and threw me down, I was on my stomach.
I don't know how to hog-tie people.
So I'm trying to fight to get away. So what he did, he grabbed the strap to his robe off of the bed and he had his knee in my back and he took both of my arms behind me, tied them, and then attached my legs to my arms. And he hog-tied me and left me on the side of the bed.
What would I hog-tie?
And I just remember laying on the side of the bed crying like, let me go, just untie me, let me go. And he fell asleep with me on the side of the bed like an animal.
My kids is listening to this, all of this nonsense, and I ain't been able to spend no time with them. This is real. This is not a lie.
There's been times where he's crying and he's telling me about his children, about his ex-wife, comparing himself to Michael Jackson and how the media destroyed him and he felt like that's what was going on in his life.
What kind of woman would tear down a dad who's trying to have a relationship with their kids? You know how many kids need a relationship with their father?
Diverting, crying, and playing victim, he reminds everyone that he's a father and wants a relationship with his kids, but his ex-wife won't allow it. He's apparently doing this to refocus the attention away from him as the bad guy and onto his ex-wife, while also trying to come across as a family man. R. Kelly was clearly lying through most of this interview. Everyone diverts differently when lying. R. Kelly's go-to diverting tactics are sensationalizing and playing victim. Clearly he did this interview to try and change public perception, but he made it so much worse. It's much easier to win in a court of law because the burden of proof is on the prosecution. But to win in the court of public opinion, such as with a morning show interview like this, the burden of proof is on him. With R. Kelly losing his temper and showing his aggressive side during this interview, this will all be used in trial against him, which may help possibly send him to prison for the remainder of his life. That aggressive, angry side his victims have been talking about for years was finally revealed in this interview for the world to see. Now, if you think R. Kelly is guilty of these abuse accusations, give this video a thumbs up. If you think he's not guilty, what do you think should happen to R. Kelly for his years of abuse against so many women and underage girls? Let everyone know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe for more body language and investigative videos, and I'll see you at the top.
We'll be right back.